Hello, welcome back to our Flutter Getx tutorial. In this session, we'll talk about how to fetch your data from API. Okay, let's go to google.com, search about a free API in news API. It will be in newsapi.org. I don't know if I have an account or not. Let's try now to have an account. Okay, perfect. Okay, get API key. For example, Mustafa. Any password. Okay, let's make it invisible. It's a bug if I use it. Okay, I will create another password. I am not a robot. I agree, submit. Email address, it will be. Okay, and this is my email, by the way. Perfect. So now don't use this API key. You have to create your own one. Okay. So now let's go to back home, go to our documentation. There's an headlines. Let's go to there to see the URL. Your URL will add, by the way, the API key. Okay, I forgot to upload my project to GitHub. Let's first do that. Okay, open GitHub. New repo. It will be news underscore Udemy, for example. It is news app using Getx. Okay, perfect. So now let's go to our project in our terminal. لا إله إلا الله. So now let's go to our project. So now let's go to our project. Okay, in our terminal, get init, get add dot. Okay, let's see now. We need, for example, get commit m first commit. Perfect. Get add dot. Let's copy the URL from here. Get remote add origin with the URL. Okay, paste it here and enter. Get push u origin master, for example. Okay, it will be master. Perfect. Now if now I refresh the website, you will see it's uploaded now. Perfect. So now let's go to our project. What the first thing I wanted to do? Okay, let's take this response. Perfect. Copy it. In our I can here create a file. It will be test.json. cancel, Control V. Okay, I can use status. No, it's okay, I can use it. Total results. No. Articles, source, name. Yes, I will use name, author. Okay, wait a moment. It's our object. Let's remove other objects. Perfect. So now we will create our model from this object. Okay. So here I have, okay, let's collapse it. It will be, for example, a string name, a string author, a string title, a string description, a string URL, and publish that so I can make it in one line. Title, description, URL, URL to image, publish it, and content. Perfect. So now let's to create our model. Here in our model, let's create Dart file. It will be news model. It will be, let's add it or not. Okay, class news model. Okay. Let's create our constructor. Required this dot name, author, title, description, URL, URL to image, publish that, and content. And let's create our named constructor. It will be factory news model dot from JSON map string dynamic. Let's call it, for example, JSON return news model. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's collapse this and see our model. Let's see the first one is name. Name here in our first object, it will be into source. Okay, it will be now JSON of source. Okay, name, our author, and our object directly JSON of author. Title also the same, JSON of title. Description the same, JSON of description. URL. Okay, the rest of the object, it will be in our object. Okay, so what we have to do now, let's create our web services. Let's go to our project here in our controller. Let's create, for example, it will be API helper class news helper extends from get connect and implements get service. Let's now create our first function. It will be void get our headlines. Okay, it will be async await get. Let's copy our URL from here. Let's add it here. Okay. Okay, let's test it. It will be response equal, and here print response dot body. Okay, let's go to our controller. Okay, it will be void get headlines. Let's take an object from our API helper or news helper. News helper. Okay, so here we can call news helper dot get headlines and update. Okay, how about to try to test it on, okay, let's test it on init get headlines. Okay, let's try now to hot restart to see if there is any error or not. Perfect. So now the response is come or appear. Okay, let's use now our model. In our API helper, we want to reach articles list. Okay, so now it will be future list of news model. Let's import it. So now the error here we want to return. Okay, so now list of data equal response dot body of articles. To can enter this list of objects. So now if I printed the data, it will return or print all the objects in this list. As you see now, if I minimize it, perfect. So now we can list of news model. Okay, we can call it news model equal data dot map. Okay, news model dot from JSON and add e dot to list. Perfect. I think now I can return news model. There is no any error now. Okay, so now let's go to our controller. Okay, in our controller, let's create list of news model. Let's call it, for example, list equal empty list. Let's import it. Okay, so our list it equal, we need here async await. So now We here get a future list of news model. So I add it here in our list. So now I want now to go to our screen. Okay, let's maximize it. Home screen, home widget. I can now create our get builder, controller, return. Perfect. Let's here initialize our news controller. In it will be news controller. Let's go to our list items. Okay, the first thing we have to do is to copy this URL and go to our model. So now, if this image it will be, if it will be equal null, so give me this URL or this image. Okay, let's make our constructor final string image. What else? Title. Okay, we need here only title and image. Or I can add here by the model. Okay, let's do it. Let's try to add it with how to edit with our model, for example. Okay, let's try to add it with our model. List of news model. Okay, list. Let's create our constructor. Perfect. Let's return back here. Okay, and here also. Okay, in our home widget, let's call controller.list. Perfect. So now I can pass our image. So now it will be list of index dot URL image. Let's remove our const. Perfect. Let's add now our title. List of index dot title. Okay, let's minimize it and minimize it. Where is our emulator? Hot restart now to see if there is any error or not. Perfect. So now it's worked. As I said, there is an empty image or a null image, so it will give me the default one. So now let's see, valid value is empty. So now the list can be empty. Okay, here. So now if list dot is empty is not empty, give me this container. Else return center child circle progress indicator semicolon, add const here. Okay, hot restart now. What happened? No, I can add this condition for our list view. Okay, if list dot is not empty, give me the list view the builder, else return circle progress indicator. Let's try now. That's what I want. Okay, perfect, perfect. Good job. Okay, I think it's a long session now. Let's next session to add our data from API to our category. Thank you. See you next session. So now as you see that there is only 5 items. Don't forget to add the list dot length. Hot restart now. Perfect. Thank you. See you next session.